Hi and welcome to the Aspire Guide to ICT Level 2 Functional Skills. We're going to be running through the Set 21 paper, and specifically we're going to be looking at question 2, which is the spreadsheet question, looking at what we can do to get full marks on that question. So if we scroll down to section B, task 2, you can see I've already got the spreadsheet open ready, and we're just going to work through one by one. So the first question, part A, says that value-added tax is added to the basic cost of an order. VAT charged at 20%. Enter a formula to calculate the cost including VAT for each order. So you can see on my spreadsheet I've got a column for cost including VAT, and I've got my column that says basic cost there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the formula in once and get it right for one order, and then I'm going to copy that all the way down. So I'm clicking into cell D2 here, and I'm going to press equals to tell the spreadsheet that I'm using a formula. I'm going to use some relative cell referencing. I'm just going to click on this cell just to say to the spreadsheet I want you to do something with the cost that's in cell C2. And because VAT is charged at 20%, that means that if I want the cost plus an extra 20%, then I want 120%. I want 100% of the cost plus an extra 20%, which gives me 120%. So I can say C2 times by, and the time symbol is the star that's above the 8 on the keyboard. I can type 120%. And again, percent is above 5 on your keyboard. So if I hit enter there, it should see the spreadsheet has calculated 120%, which is the basic cost plus the 20% VAT. So once I've got that right once, I can click back into cell D2. I can hover over the bottom right hand corner so I get my little black arrow, and I'm going to drag down, all the way to the bottom, and you should see that the spreadsheet has copied that down and done all of these for me. So that's section A done, or part A done. So part B says that the delivery charge depends on the delivery code. The charge for each code is shown in the delivery worksheet. Enter a formula to calculate the delivery charge for each order. So if we go back over to my spreadsheet, you can see I've got a delivery worksheet that's got the codes and the charges that relate to each code. And I've got the delivery codes on the order spreadsheets just on their own. So what the question is asking for is to enter a formula that goes and looks up what the delivery code is and brings back the delivery charge to put into this column here. So again, I'm going to do that once correctly and then copy it for everything else. So when I'm looking up things in a table, that's a clue that we're looking for a lookup formula. So I'm going to click into the FX button at the top there, which is where my more complex functions live, and you can see that VLOOKUP is there. If it's not there, you can type into the box here to search for it, VLOOKUP, press go, and it will find it for you. But as it's already here, I'm just going to double click. Okay, and you can see I've got 3 steps. I've got lookup value, table array, and column index number. Lookup value is what I want the spreadsheet to go and find for me that's in the table. So I want it to go and find and look up the delivery codes. So I'm just going to click the cell that's got the delivery code in, and you can see it's put in cell E2 into a lookup value. I want it to go and find what's in E2 for me. The next step, if I click into table array here, is to tell the spreadsheet where that table is, where the information I've just added to look up is. So the table where the information is over in delivery. I'm going to highlight, I'm going to highlight from A2 to C5. So I'm not going to include the headings of the table, I'm just going to include the information in the main body of the table. So you can see there I've highlighted from A2 down to C5, which covers all of the table. After I've done that, I'm going to press F4, or on some keyboards function F4, which you can see puts little dollar signs before each letter and each number. What that does to the spreadsheet is it tells it afterwards, when we copy this and when we play about with it, those numbers aren't going to change. What that does is that fixes those numbers. Okay, and finally the third step is column index number. So once the spreadsheet has found the delivery code that I want it to look up, what do I want it to bring back? Well, I want it to bring back the price that's in the delivery charge column. The price in the delivery charge column is the second column that we've highlighted. You can see that delivery code is the first column we've highlighted, delivery charge is the second column that's in the highlighted area. So I'm going to click into column index number and I'm going to put the number 2. Okay, and once I hit OK, you should see that the delivery charge has been looked up for me. The spreadsheet's gone away and looked up delivery code N, and it's brought back the delivery charge of £4.95. Okay, now because I've done that step with pressing F4 to put the dollar signs, that now means, oops, let me just undo that. That now means that I can copy this down by using the black cross symbol, and it will copy it down for me. Had I not done that step, had I not pressed F4, I wouldn't have been able to copy that down, and I've had to have typed it out each time, which obviously is not very efficient. It's much more efficient to do it this way. Okay, so always remember to press F4 after you've highlighted the tables to put those dollar signs in. Okay, so that should be full marks for part B. Moving on to part C, you say it's asking us to enter a formula to calculate the total cost for each order. Okay, so we can see there's a column in the spreadsheet for total cost. If I'm calculating, I know I'm going to be using some kind of function again or some kind of formula. So I can press equals to tell the spreadsheet that I'm using a function or using a formula. Now, the total cost for each order looks like it will be the cost, including VAT, plus the delivery charge. So all I need to do is click D2, which has the cost including the VAT, press the plus button on my keyboard, and to click the cell that has the delivery charge. So I'm telling the spreadsheet to add together D2 and F2. If I hit enter, you can see it's calculated the total cost for this item as £61.59 by adding those two cells together, D2 and F2. Okay, again, I can hover over the bottom right hand corner till I get the black arrow or the black cross, and I can copy all of those down. There we go. So that should be full marks for section C. Part D asks us to format the orders worksheet so it's clear and easy to understand. So this is a common step in level 2 spreadsheet question, and some of the things that you might want to look for are what we've got here, which is truncation. So you can see that customer name doesn't quite fit into this cell that's been given there. So a quick shortcut there is to click this grey triangle which is between A and 1 in the top left hand corner, and that highlights the whole cell, the whole spreadsheet. I'm then going to hover over between A and B until I get a black arrow that kind of points in 2 directions, and I'm going to double click there. And what that does is that snaps all the columns to the correct width so that everything is viewable. So you can see that everything is nice and neat and the right size, and there's no big gaps of white space, and there's nothing that's been truncated so that we can't read it. So there's one mark for formatting. Another mark for formatting would be to highlight all of your headings, and we might want to put them in bold for example. We might want to give them a fill colour, so a nice gentle blue, possibly. And I also might want to give them an underline or a bottom border for the cell, which is found in the cells box here. Okay. And looking at it again, I might want to just highlight the whole thing as well. I might want to go back into the cells box and maybe put in some left borders and some right borders. And maybe, in fact, let's do all borders. There we go. Okay, so we can see, hopefully that's made it a little bit easier to look at and a little bit easier to read. Okay, so if we go back, that should be full marks for formatting the orders worksheet, so it's clearer and easier to understand. Okay, moving on to part E. We're now asked to filter the table in the orders worksheet to show only the orders that have a delivery code of F. So you can see in the spreadsheet we've got 4 different delivery codes, N, D, F and S, and it wants us to filter that so that only the ones that have F are shown. Okay, so to filter, I'm just going to make this full screen for a second. To filter, we want to highlight all of our headings. In the very top right hand corner we can see a button that says sort and filter. I'm going to click on that and I'm going to click filter here. It might look like nothing has changed, but if we look in the headings we can see that they now have a little arrow which gives us a drop down menu when we click it. Okay, so I'm going to click that drop down menu that's above delivery code and I'm going to remove everything apart from F. I believe it was F, wasn't it? Yes, delivery code of F. There we go. So I can take away everything apart from F. Okay, and we can see that it's hidden everything apart from F. It hasn't deleted them, and we can see that because the numbers are now out of sync. It's hiding the numbers 11 and 13 and 2 and 3. And if I wanted them back, I could just clear the filters and they would reappear. But for now, you need to take everything off apart from F. Hit OK. And that should give us full marks for part E. So, part F asks us to use our filtered list to create a suitable chart to show the total cost of orders that have free delivery. It wants us to identify each order by order number and to format the chart so that it's clear and easy to read. And you can see this is a 6-mark question, so it's important that we get all the elements correct there. So we are looking for the total cost of orders that have free delivery. So this is all the ones that have F, so that's why we've made our filtered list. And we need to identify each order by order number. So the things that we need to highlight are order number and total cost. Okay, and what you'll find is highlighting both of these things separately won't let you highlight them both at the same time. To highlight them both at the same time, we need to highlight one set first. So I'm going to highlight order number. I'm going to hold down Control on my keyboard, and then I'm going to highlight total cost as well. And you can see it's only by doing that that they both get highlighted at the same time. This can be a little bit tricky and take a little bit of practice. One of the things that people sometimes get wrong is to click into a cell first and then to click into it again, which can make it a little bit difficult, which can mean that you're starting to type into things and things like that. So it's important just to click in once and drag down. Hold down Control on your keyboard and do the same again for the other area. And that highlights both of those areas at the same time. So now that I've got both of those highlighted, I'm going to go to full screen again. I'm going to go to Insert, and I'm going to choose a particular chart. For this chart, it seems like a bar chart would be relevant. So I'm going to choose 2D bar chart. There we go, and you can see it's created my bar chart there with the order numbers at the bottom and the total cost up the side. Okay, as part of formatting the chart so it's clear and easy to read, I need to make sure that I'm including an appropriate title. So what I've made here is a chart that represents the total cost of items with free delivery. I might even put including VAT. Okay, you can see I've also capitalised the title as well. You do pick up marks for proper capitalisation when labelling your chart, so it's important to get that correct as well. So I've added a title. I also need to make sure that I'm adding axis labels on either side of my chart as well. So I'm going to go to full screen again. In this particular version of Excel, you can find axis labels in the add chart element, which is on the design ribbon at the top there. Sometimes people miss where that is because they're clicking into the different ribbons at the top, or that they've somehow clicked out of the chart and they can't find it again. So to find it again, you click into the chart once, you go up to the top, and it's in the design ribbon under chart tools. So I'm going to go to add chart element, and I'm going to go to axis titles. I want a horizontal one. At the bottom there, that is the order numbers. Enter. And I also want to add a vertical one as well. And up the side is the total cost. I'm going to hit enter as well, and you can see that those have been added. Okay, so the chart's been formatted and it's clear and easy to read. The last step is to save the chart as a separate worksheet within the free delivery spreadsheet. So what I'm going to do there is I'm going to right click on the chart, or right click on the white area of the chart, and I'm going to go to the move chart option on the pop-up. And I'm going to select new sheet, I'm going to click OK, and you can see that chart has been moved to a new worksheet for me. Here's my original order sheet, here's my delivery sheet, and here's my chart on a separate worksheet. Looking nice and clean, well formatted and easy to read. Okay, so that takes us to the end of question 2. Hopefully that should get us 18 marks, which is a big chunk of the whole 50 marks for the paper. So it should put you well on your way to getting a passing grade.